These are the Knights of the Living Dead, also known as the Order of St. Lazarus of Jerusalem. They were a military order whose purpose was to care for and protect those affected with leprosy, as it was custom in those times for those afflicted with the illness to remove themselves from regular society and live amongst fellow lepers. The Order of St. Lazarus allowed knights and crusaders who were afflicted with this illness to continue their defense of the Holy Land. Certain of their soon approaching deaths from the disease, they were widely recognized for their unmatched bravery and ferocity on the battlefield, choosing death over surrender. They would have been recognized by their distinct bright green crosses, the symbol of their order. And actually, the Order of St. Lazarus is still around today, with a focus on caring for the sick and impoverished. How amazing is it to learn of brave men who, despite going through incredible amounts of pain, chose to intentionally put themselves in situations of discomfort to defend what they believed in. That's something to look up to. This is the Jerusalem cross, and it has several different symbolic meanings. It represents the 5 wounds of Christ, the 2 smaller crosses on the top being the wounds on his hands, the crosses on the bottom being the wounds on his feet, and the center cross being the wound on his side. It also represents the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It represents the 4 corners of the earth, and it represents the 4 quarters of the Old City of Jerusalem. Historically, it was the emblem of the Order of the Holy Sepulchre, created in 1099 by Godfrey of Bouillon, with the purpose of protecting the tomb of Christ and guarding Christian pilgrims during their religious journey to Jerusalem. Another rendition of this is also the flag of the country of Georgia. So now you know the history of this beautiful cross and the history of our brothers in Christ who wore it so many years before us. Oh, and I forgot to say that the Order of the Holy Sepulchre is still around today. The oldest order of the Kingdom of Jerusalem was the Knights Hospitaller. Their purpose was to build hospitals and provide aid to sick and injured pilgrims on their journey to the Holy Land. After the first successful capture of Jerusalem, a group of knights discovered the hospital and joined in order to help serve the ill in a spirit of Christian charity. It was in the 1120s, under the leadership of their Grand Master, the Blessed Raymond de Puy, that the order became militarized. Since the kingdom was under constant threat of attack, the hospitals filled with the sick and disabled were left vulnerable. Raymond encouraged his knights, saying, "Love, revere, and preserve justice, favor, relieve, and defend the oppressed." Following after the example of the Knights Templar, the Knights Hospitaller took monastic vows. Knights in this order pledged their celibacy and lived a life of religious devotion. After the fall of the Kingdom of Jerusalem, the order continued but relocated, most famously to Malta, where they were renamed the Knights of Malta, and they still exist under that title. Warrior monks sworn to celibacy, charity, religious devotion, and combat. This is the Order of the Knights Templar. After the successful First Crusade, many knights went home victorious, but a number of them stayed behind, realizing the continued need for the protection of Christian pilgrims, especially along rural roads leading to the city. In 1119, a group of these knights, led by Hugh de Payens, approached King Baldwin II of Jerusalem, wishing to establish an official monastic order. Supporting their mission, the king placed their headquarters on the Temple Mount, believed to be the biblical location of the Temple of Solomon. It was from then on that they were called the Knights of the Temple, or the Knights Templar. They were widely recognized for their fearlessness in battle, often leading the charge, being the first ones in and the last ones out. For the Templar, martyrdom in battle was the most glorious death, as they were known to say, "Non nobis Domine, non nobis, sed nomine tuo da gloriam." Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to thy name give glory.